Lower, wider, and longer, the all-new 2018 Hyundai Elantra GT adds a more aggressive stance and increased interior volume to complement its clean European style and upgraded driving dynamics.
Complementing the Veloster in Hyundai's hatchback lineup is this Elantra GT. Based upon the i30 sold across the pond and originally introduced here about a decade ago as the Elantra Touring, Hyundai markets it as the hot hatch alternative to the more staid sedan. It comes in two flavors, base and sport. I've got the standard issue GT priced from $20,235. That includes a 162 horsepower 2-liter engine and 6-speed manual. My car picks up the optional 6-speed automatic for an additional $1,000, as well as both available packages, the style and tech, for an as-tested price of $27,335.
With 96.5 cubic feet of passenger volume and nearly 25 cubic feet of cargo volume, the EPA actually classifies the Elantra GT as a large car, which is unusual in this class. And with the rear seats folded, it offers big-time hauling capacity.
Americans who like to drive are warming to hatchbacks as viable crossover alternatives, and Hyundai developed and tested this GT on Germany's most grueling road circuit. So what you've got here is a real go-getter, an energetic driver's car with its vitals tuned for some spirited driving. I can only imagine the GT Sport, with its turbocharged engine, optional dual-clutch gearbox, multi-link rear suspension, and upsized tires and brakes, is where the real fun is at. But nevertheless, this entry model willingly joins in the shenanigans.
The GT is geared pretty aggressively, giving this 2-liter motor more life than it would otherwise have. So stepping off, this Elantra feels pretty quick. It's immediately more entertaining to drive than the sedans, with nicely weighted steering, a taut suspension, and a willingness to hustle through turns, to a surprising degree actually. It can be very fun to drive, with that on-demand responsiveness you want, and a chassis that scrubs out understeer. These 17-inch Nexans are a nice fit too. But that firm ride quality isn't as much fun when you're driving the family around, and the cabin is really loud. So much so that this Infinity sound system has trouble overpowering it. Plus, it feels a little cheap in here.
I could have used some paddle shifters too. Hyundai's MO of over-delivering for the money feels like it falls a little short here. Sure, it's still feature-heavy with items like the panoramic roof, heated and cooled front seats, dual-zone climate control, an automatic vehicle hold feature for use in stop-and-go traffic, and a sport mode. But the GT's cabin design and feel doesn't communicate as though it's evolved beyond what Hyundai was already doing 5 years ago. Plus, other than side blind zone alert, you can't get the big boy driver assistance features until you step up to the Sport. But this is really good.
The Elantra GT also debuts the brand's next-generation infotainment system with a faster processor for greater responsiveness. And it also integrates Amazon Alexa.
A bigger touchscreen, chock full of immersive features and high-on telematics and connectivity, plus wireless charging. If only other manufacturers would look here for guidance, more of them would get it right. This optional 7-speaker Infinity audio system with subwoofer, however, is too weak to overtake the copious road and tire noise. That gets tired really fast. But there is good space in here. A little tight on rear legroom, but tons of headroom. And the cargo room bests just about anything comparable. Civic, Cruze, Mazda 3, Focus, and even the Golf. Too bad Hyundai is weak in the accessory offerings for this car because I imagine roof racks and other kinds of adventure gear would sell well at the dealership. I don't love the new cascading grille, but the scarlet red pearl paint is a big plus. Gas mileage is also an advantage, returning nearly 30 mpg for the week. So if you find yourself shopping the Elantra and are bored by it like I was, this GT might just be the antidote. For TestDriveNow.com, I'm Steve Hammes.